How you doing? Life Insurance Shannon from Rinkenmuth Life Insurance. This is part one of a two-part video that I'd like to do for you guys about converting term policies into whole life policies. In this first video, this is going to be just an introduction to what is term life insurance and what is whole life insurance. If you're already good with that, you probably wanted to just skip to the second video about what are some techniques and strategies to help people convert from their term policies to whole life. But in this one, we're going to just start on what is the difference. So what's the difference between a term policy and a permanent policy, a whole life policy? When you say term life insurance, you should be thinking short term. This is going to cover them for 10, 15, 20, 30 years. It is for a period of time. And then we are wanting to put this policy away and end it. Where permanent insurance, whether we are 23, whether we are 103, we want that benefit to pay out. Okay? So term life insurance can actually be great. People need to understand that it's short term. But if they only want it for as long as they have a mortgage, for as long as they have kids in the house, that's awesome. It's much, much cheaper. We are finding that maybe 1 out of like 1,000 of those policies actually have a claim on them, have a death. So we're able to offer that very, very cheaply. Permanent life insurance is about 4 times the price of term life insurance. So term life insurance can be great. If you've done your introduction, you found out how much coverage they need, maybe you used our life insurance calculator, a link to which is at the bottom of my email, and you found out they need $500,000. Well, $500,000 on a whole life policy is going to be pretty expensive, maybe cost prohibitive for a lot of people. So maybe you do some in whole life, the part that they want to be permanent, $100,000, $25,000, and the rest of it in term. That's probably the best strategy because then if financial hard times hit and they need to cancel their life insurance coverage, maybe they pick between 1 and 2 of those policies and keep some coverage rather than saying, I can't afford my $500,000 term anymore and the whole thing is gone. Right? So that's something to think about. Whole life not only will last the rest of your life, no matter what, at the same even price, same low price if you buy it pretty young, but it also has a cash value. So I was just looking at one for a 30-year-old. Let's say he gets to 65 years old and his retirement is fully funded. So he's not worried about his wife anymore and the financial hardship that his death would cause on her because she's taken care of. And let's say his kids are way more successful than he ever was. So he doesn't feel any need to provide financially for them anymore. So he says, I just don't need this life insurance. Well, he can surrender it. In this case, he'd get $50,000 as the cash value back to him, the surrender value. So there's some value to that, especially as a plan B. I wouldn't, this isn't a get rich kind of thing, but it is a nice plan B if they say that, you know what, I just don't need this anymore. So that's whole life. And we're going to talk about if somebody has bought term life and at some point during the term they want to exchange it, convert it into whole life. We have that privilege. We're going to talk about that in the next video.